Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello everyone, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly as well as there's no issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. No issues. Okay, that's great. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Okay. Uh, so how are you guys? Please do let me know. No issues. Okay, that's great. So, how are you guys? Please do let me know. Awesome. Okay, that's great. So, can somebody remind me what are the stuff that we had learned in our previous class? Please do let me know. Okay, so we had started out with some theory. Okay, that's great. So, what had we learned in our yesterday's class, guys? What are the different things that we have discussed in our previous class, guys? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript introduction and overview. Okay, that's great. Basics of website, importance of JavaScript. Okay. Okay. So we are able to remember the different things that we had learned in our previous class. Now, today's class, we are going to start off with JavaScript. Okay. And our main focus will be about like learning the language first of all. Now those kids who don't have a laptop or a desktop right now, don't worry about it, just listen to what I'm teaching. Well, we'll be learning JavaScript. The majority portion we will be requiring a laptop, but don't worry if you don't have a laptop. Okay, when we'll be shifting to React JS, there will be no use of laptop. You could do it from your mobile phone as well. You could code the entire thing from your mobile phone, so you don't need to worry about it. For JavaScript, we will be using and we'll be going step by step. We are not directly going into an IDE or something like that. I'm taking this matter of fact that I will be starting from the basics itself. I want to create your foundation so that you guys are much more comfortable in understanding the basics itself. Okay, so that is what we are going to do right now. Okay. So are you guys ready for today's class? Please do let me know. Are you guys ready for today's class? Please do let me know, guys. Okay, that's great. So let's get started with our today's class and we'll move further along with the CMA itself, guys. Okay, so let me just open up one of the new tabs right over here. Bring it back, open it up. Okay, check if everything is working or not. Okay, so let's get started. So now what we're going to do first of all is, like I said, initially I'm going to take up everything from the utmost basics. So we are going to start with the normal programming from the browser itself. There is a reason behind it. I will be letting you guys know when we'll be reaching there. Okay, so slowly and steadily we'll be moving on to a proper IDE as well. But don't get hasty. Don't say that, okay, sir, what is this? Farana Dimkana. I also know the stuff. Okay. not a noob right over here, but I need to make sure that your foundations are made out correctly so that you are able to learn from it. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, you can open up any browser, do a right click on the browser itself. There you'll be able to find a lot of options like back, forward, reload, save as, print, cast, view page source, and inspect. Okay, anywhere on your browser, anywhere on the browser window, you can just do a right click from right over here and then select inspect from the options. Okay, select inspect on the options. So right over here, as you're able to see, it will open up a panel down below your website itself. So this is your website that was there above, and you're able to see a panel that will open up down below. Now here, as you're able to see, you are having a lot of options on the top. You are having console, elements, sources, network, performance, memory, so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that you should be remembering, guys, is that don't code along with me. Okay, listen to what I have to say, because there's a lot of different things that I will be saying, and if you're coding along with me, you will be skipping on most of the part. So do not code along with me. Listen to what I'm saying, see what I'm doing. Okay, it would be much more easier for you to grasp the concepts. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, there is console, elements, sources, network, performance, memory, and so on and so forth. I want you guys to click on console. Okay, I want you guys to click on console right over here. Once I've clicked on console, it will open up a panel down below for you guys where you can write your JavaScript code. Now, like I said, JavaScript was originally built, if you remember from our previous class, that JavaScript was originally built to work just within the browser. The browser provides a environment for JavaScript to work properly. JavaScript won't function normally inside of your laptop directly or inside of your desktop directly. You need some other things associated, like attached to JavaScript, that helps it function normally in your laptop. Browser is the only place where you can run JavaScript code without installing anything else or something like that, because JavaScript, it inherently lives in the browser. So that is the reason why we are going to use this console to write our JavaScript code right now. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know, guys. Okay, great. So what we are going to do right now is, before starting any new programming language, any programming language that you're learning at any point of time. Okay, so for example, in India as well, whenever you start a new thing, it is considered to be very auspicious to have some curd and sugar before doing that. The same thing goes for any programming language that you're starting to learn as well. Okay, so whenever you're starting any new programming language that you want to learn at any point of time, the first thing that programmers do before starting to learn that language is to print hello world in that language itself. So that is what we are going to use right now. Okay, okay, is there any questions that I'm able to see right over here? No, there are no questions. Okay, we can continue. So first of all, we'll be printing hello world using JavaScript right over here. So what you have to do is to print hello world in JavaScript. Okay, the code that you have to write is, you need to create an alert. Right now you are in a browser, so what you're doing is you are using JavaScript to manipulate the browser itself. So what you want to do right now is, you want to first of all start with creating an alert. Okay, so what do you mean by the word alert? Can you guys let me know? Like, not in normal English. Okay, if you are hearing the word in normal English, alert, what is the meaning of alert in normal English? Can somebody let me know? What is the meaning of alert in normal English, guys? Can you guys let me know? What is the difference between front end and back end web development? We will be catering to that particular question on the 5th day, Siddharth. Not right now. Right now we'll be focusing upon the programming aspect itself. That's right. Warning or notification or a prompt message to warn, cautious, pay attention, careful, warning, okay, aware. So all these are words related to alert. Now when you're using a browser, how do you get alerts on your browser itself? When you're using a browser, how do you get alerts? Okay, alerts are those pop-ups that you are able to see. There will be an alert that will come up to your screen saying that blah 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 blah, okay or cancel. So that is basically a example of alert. Okay, in the same way you can use alert to show messages on your browser as well. To write this code, it's pretty simple. So it is alert. Okay, you just have to write alert, and then inside of parentheses you have to write what do you want to show inside that particular message. So the message that you want to show in this alert, the message that I want to show is hello world. Right over here, as you're able to see, so alert hello world. So alert basically will create the pop-up for me, and hello world is the string. Hello world is the text that I want to showcase inside that pop-up itself. And then at the end I have to just press a semicolon, because this is JavaScript, not Python. So this is how you write a small piece of line of code inside of JavaScript that basically creates an alert that shows hello world on your screen. You write the function that is alert, that you want to create an alert. What is the message that you want to put up inside of alert? It goes inside the parenthesis, and you finish off the sentence just like in normal English. You finish off a sentence by putting up a full stop. In JavaScript you finish off a line of code by putting up a semicolon at the end. Okay, so if I'm pressing enter right over here, you are able to see that I'm getting a pop-up on my screen saying Chrome new tab page says hello world. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to see this? Please do let me know. Great. So now that you have understood about alert, okay, now that you have printed something out on your screen, we are going to learn about variables in JavaScript. Okay, so that is the first thing that we are going to learn about is variables. Now let's try to understand this from like an example sort of structure itself. Let's say that you are a programmer, you are a software engineer, and you have recently moved to, let's say, Bangalore. Okay, so in Bangalore, let's say this is you right over here. Okay, so you are a software engineer and you have recently shifted to Bangalore. And once I've shifted to Bangalore, let's say that your salary is like 1 lakh rupees a month. Okay, that is your salary right now. Along with that, you are having your rent. So of course, when you are shifting to Bangalore, you will have to pay rent with wherever you are living at any point of time. So your rent is, let's say, 25,000 rupees. Okay, let's say your rent is 25,000 rupees a month right over here. Then let's say that you have joined a gym as well. So your gym membership fees is like, let's say, 5,000 rupees a month. You also shifted to Bangalore. It's a very like congested area. The traffic is especially bad. So you have bought a bike as well, and now you're paying off the EMI of the bike. So let's say the EMI for the bike right now is also 25,000 rupees. So that is basically your expenses that you're having right now in Bangalore. Now you are a smart guy, you are a programmer. You don't want to like every single month sit out and pay your rent, pay your gym membership fees, pay your EMI on time, then like calculate your savings, calculate your expenses and all those kind of stuff. So what you did was you created a program. Okay, you created a program that does all these things for you. Okay, that does all these things for you. So what you have done is you have written a program out there of like, let's say, 10,000 lines of code. You have written 10,000 lines of code out there that does all these different things for you. Okay, so this entire program that you have created is of 10,000 lines of code. Now, for example, you want to calculate your expenses. Okay, you want to calculate your expenses. Of course, you also have your taxes as well. So tax, as you are earning 1 lakh rupees per month, your tax will be calculated according to 0.3, that's 30% right now. Okay, so what you have done is you have created this entire program. So normally, how would you calculate your expenses? You will be like, okay, so I'll be adding 25,000, that is my rent, plus 5,000, that is my gym membership fees, plus I'm having 25,000 as my EMI, and of course you will have to add your taxes as well, because that is also an expense that is happening. Your tax is 0.3 multiplied by 1 lakh rupees, but your rent and EMI are tax deductible, so it will be subtracting 25,000 from right over here, minus 25,000 from right over here as well. So that is how you are able to like calculate your taxes right now. Let's say you want to calculate your savings. So to calculate your savings, you will have to write something like 1 lakh rupees, that is your salary, minus your all the expenses. So it will be like 25,000 plus 5,000 plus 25,000 plus 0.3 multiplied by 1 lakh minus 25,000 minus 25,000, and so on and so forth. So this is how you have made your entire code and everything. You have done it perfectly, and it's done and dusted, and you are happy with your code, and everything is working fine. Okay, there's no issues whatsoever. But right now what happens is that your landlady comes in to know that, okay, you have shifted to Bangalore and you are paying a rent of 25,000, but you are also a software engineer. So she knows that living in Bangalore, she knows that software engineers earn a lot. Okay, so she's like a devil, a mean lady. Okay, so she is like, you earn a lot. This is a great society. I'm jacking up the prices from 25,000 to, let's say, 30,000 rupees per month. Okay, I'm increasing your rent from 25,000 rupees to 30,000 rupees. And you also don't want to take up the pain of shifting to a new flat, finding a new flat, shifting there. It's a lot of expenses and a lot of work that you have to do. So you decided that, okay, it's no issues, I will pay up 30,000 rupees from the next month. But now the problem is that your code, the entire 10,000 lines of code that you have written right over here, everywhere, wherever you have calculated your taxes or calculated your savings, expenses, you have used rent as 25,000. So if you want to change it to 30,000, you will have to go through every single line and change all the rents to from 25,000 to 30,000. Now that's a huge pain in the ass. Okay, it's a huge problem right now. You don't want to do this. Okay, now somebody would be very smart. Somebody would be saying that, why to do like that? We'll just do a control F and a control R, like we'll find and replace all the 25,000 by 30,000. Now what do you think is the problem with doing this? Okay, if I'm doing a control F and control R, let's find and replace. If I'm finding all the 25,000 to 30,000, what is the problem that will happen with my code? Can somebody think about it? Can somebody think about it, guys? That's absolutely clever, Subhash. Okay, EMI is also the same. Okay, so if you are finding all the 25,000 and replacing it by 30,000, your EMI will also be changed to 30,000, and you don't want that. The only thing that you can do is that you can go line by line, checking whether, okay, this 25,000 is for rent or EMI, figure that out, then update it to 30,000, and then so on and so forth. Now this is a very painstaking task. Okay, you don't want to do this. This is where the concepts of variables come into place. Think about variables as like nicknaming someone. Okay, you want to nickname someone right over there. For example, let's say that salary is represented by, so salary is a nickname that we are assigning to 1 lakh rupees. Rent is a nickname that we are assigning to 25,000 rupees. Gym is a nickname that we are assigning to 5,000 rupees. EMI is a nickname that we are assigning to 25,000 rupees. Tax is something that we are assigning to 0.3. Okay, so for example, if I want to calculate my expenses right now, the code that I have to write is like EXE, that is expenses. Let's just take up as that is equal to rent plus gym plus EMI plus tax multiplied by sal minus rent minus gym Okay, so you can write the exact same thing as your nicknames themselves. Similar to that, if I want to calculate my savings, I can write SAVE, save is equals to sal minus exe, because I've just calculated exe. So whatever the result is, I'm saving it into another nickname called as exe. Now I can use it to calculate my savings as well, and so on and so forth. Now even if my landlady comes up and tells that, okay, I'm jacking up the prices to 30,000 rupees, I don't even have to look at these 10,000 lines of code. I don't even have to look at these 10,000 lines of code. I just have to come to these 5 lines of code and then just change rent is equals to 25,000 to rent is equals to 30,000. Now everywhere within my code, wherever I have used the word rent, okay, wherever I've used the nickname rent, it will refer back to this 30,000 rupees. That is the new value that is present inside rent. That is the nickname. The real value of this nickname rent has now been updated to 30,000. So I don't have to go through these 10,000 lines of code to figure that out. And that is why variables are such an important concept in every single programming language. Whether it be C, C++, C Sharp, Java, Python, JavaScript, any language that you're learning, variables are a very, very integral and a very important factor in these languages. Okay, are you guys able to understand why variables are so important? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand why variables are so important? Are you guys able to understand why variables are so important? Are you guys able to understand? See, guys, there are almost 500 of you live right now. I want to see 500 yes as well. Okay. Sir, no semicolon is needed in JavaScript. Yes, semicolon is needed in JavaScript. Okay. If you are running your code without semicolon, it will still work because you are running just like 1, 2, 3 lines of code. Okay. So browser automatically understands it. But when you are going into a production like place itself in a company, there you will be writing like 1 lakh 2 lakh lines of code, 10,000, 20,000 lines of code in one file. At that point of time, if you are missing out on semicolons, it might end up into like very different kinds of errors and you would not be able to figure it out. That's the reason why I always say to put up semicolons at the end. Okay. Okay, great. So let's move back to our code. Okay, so now that you have learned about variables, the next thing that so right now we used alert. Okay, we used alert to show something on our screen. What if I want to take an input from the user, not just show something to the user? I want to take an input from the user as well. Okay, so for example, right now we are having alert, hello world. We are getting an hello world alert to the user. What if I want to show some like take input from the user itself? For example, what is your name? Okay, I want to take the input of the name of the user. For that, we are having another function in JavaScript that is called as prompt. Okay, so right now I'm like dealing with a lot of different languages, so it might be possible for me to like instead of saying JavaScript just say something else. So please pardon me for the same as well, guys. So the light just went out right over here. I hope that that's not a problem with you guys. Okay. So right over here, as we are able to see, I want to take input from the user. For that, we are having a prompt itself. Okay. So we'll be using prompt prompt. Okay. What is your name? Okay. That is the question that we want to showcase to the user, and we want to get the answer from the user as well. So prompt, what is your name? So let us press enter right over here, as you're able to see, we are again getting an sort of an alert sort of structure, but with a text box inside of it. It says, what is your name? We'll put our name right over here, sure, Sinha. Okay, so I put up my name inside of it. As soon as I'm pressing on this OK, you are able to see that we are able to get the input of the user into our console. We are able to get the input of the user inside our console. Are you guys able to understand this? Please let me know. Whatever you are putting up in the prompt. So for example, if I'm saying, let's say, Marvin Joseph. Okay, so we are getting Marvin Joseph into our console itself. Whatever input that the user is giving, we are able to get it inside our console. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Now the problem with this is, although the user has given us this input, we are not able to use it anywhere. It is there inside our console, but I want to use it later on as well. I want to use it at a later point of time. Okay, so whatever input that the user is giving us through the prompt, I want to take that input and save it inside a variable. Think about variable as boxes. Okay, a box with a name. Okay, so whatever input that the user is giving me, instead of putting it up on the console, I want it to be saved inside this box, which I can use it at a later point of time. Okay, I want to use it at a later point of time. So for that, what I have to do is I have to create a variable. Now to create a variable in JavaScript is very simple. Okay, you just have to write var, telling JavaScript that you want to create a variable. Okay, write the name of the variable. Right now I'm giving the name of the variable as name. Okay, and then it is equal to prompt what is your name. Okay, that is equal to prompt what is your name. So what is happening right over here is, whatever input that the user is giving us, okay, whatever input that the user is giving us at any point of time, that input will then be saved inside our variable that we are naming as name. Okay, name right over here. Okay, so right over here, if I am pressing enter, you are able to see what is your name. Okay, we are getting a prompt. Just normally we'll write the name Shaurya Sinha, and then we are not getting anything. We are getting undefined. Now this undefined, why we are getting it, don't worry about it. We will be talking about it when we'll be learning functions in JavaScript. That is tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Very simple. You will be able to understand. Right now, just ignore it. Okay. So right now we are not getting that Shaurya Sinha on our console. Why? Because instead of putting it up on the console itself, it is now saving it inside a variable called as name. Okay. And we are saving it inside the variable called as name. Marvin Joseph, just thamba. Okay, just like slow down. We have not yet reached on data types. You don't need to rush forward to. Okay, so right now if I'm just writing something, let's say I want let's type just name right over here. As you're able to see, name basically contains, the variable name basically contains the input Shaurya Sinha. Okay, we are having name right over here that basically contains the input Shaurya Sinha right over here. Are you guys able to understand this? Whatever input that the user provided to us, we saved it inside a variable called as name, and now we can use name wherever we want that contains the value Shaurya Sinha inside of it. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Now there are various data types in JavaScript. Okay, so for example, there are numbers, okay, that you can have. So to check, so let's say we are having numbers like 1, 2, 3.5. These are all different type of numbers that are there in. Arey yaar. There are different type of numbers that are there. So this is the first data type. So now what do you mean by data type? The different types of data that basically exist in the programming languages are referred to as data type. That is different types of data. Okay, so first of all, there are numbers out there. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 3.14. All these are different kind of numbers. Okay, these are called as numbers in JavaScript. Then there is your normal strings. So you are having like DevTown. Okay, so you can have DevTown written in like double quotation marks. You can have DevTown written to it and single quotation marks. These are all called as strings. What do you mean by string? String is basically a thread. Okay, a thread of pearls, a string of pearls. Similarly, right over here, this is a string of characters. Okay, it is a string of characters. It can include numbers, it can include spaces, it can include special characters, it can include capital letters, small letters, anything that you want inside of double quotes or single quotes will be called as a string itself. The next is your true and your false value. Okay, the true and your false value, these are called as Boolean values. Okay, these are called as Boolean data type. Boolean data type only has two values, that is true and false. Now you can check the data type of these objects by using an inbuilt function, just like you are having alert, you are having prompt. There's another inbuilt function in JavaScript called as type of. So you can use type of right over here. Okay, so let's say type of 3.14. Okay, if you want to check what is the type of 3.14, it will show you the data type of that particular element, that particular object, that is number. If you want to check the type of 3, that will also give you numbers. You can check the type of, let's say, a string, dev down. Okay, you can have spaces, you can have numbers, you can have special characters. Okay, just between a double quotations or a single quotation mark. Okay, you can change this to a single quotation mark as well right over here. So both of them have the type of string. Okay, the next particular thing that you are having is true and false values. So true and false values, as you're able to see, are having the data type of Boolean. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Yes, var, prompt and alert have special meaning in JavaScript. Okay, so what do you mean by keywords? Okay, keywords is nothing but words that have special meaning in a particular language. So yes, type of, then you are having alert, you are having prompt, you are having var. These are all keywords in JavaScript. Why keywords? Because these have special meaning in JavaScript itself. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Great. Okay, now that you have learned about these different data types, the next thing that we need to learn about is concatenation. You can concatenate two strings together to form a new string. For example, let's say we are having var w1, that is word 1 is equals to hello, and then you are having var w2 is equals to world. Okay, right over here. So these are two different variables that we have created, w1 and w2. Now you can use addition. Okay, you can use addition symbol, that is w1 plus w2, and that will concatenate the two strings together to form a single string called as hello world. Okay, you can concatenate two strings together to form a hello world right over here. Okay, you can form a single string out of it. For example, you can even do something like this. W1, we want to have a space between them, so we'll create an empty string right over here that has a space, and then w2, so that will basically create a hello space world for you. So you can concatenate multiple strings together to form new words. Okay, new strings as well. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. So how many programming languages should be crystal clear to us in order to get into a top MNC? Two. Just two programming languages. That's it. One, that is you are going to use for your data structures and algorithms and competitive programming. You can choose between C++ and Java. And the second, if you're choosing data science, then Python. If you're choosing web development, then JavaScript. These are the only, like, you need only two programming languages. I consider those a fool who learn like multiple programming languages for getting into a company. Okay, for of course, when you have got into a company at that point of time, Yes, it's common to know multiple languages as well. But getting into a company, you just need two programming languages. That's it. Great. So now what we are going to do is the input that we got from the user. If you remember name, okay, if you remember, we had taken an input from the user that was name itself right over here. Okay, so we are now going to utilize this input into an alert. Okay, so we can have an alert right over here, and we can have like name. So let's say hi, space, and then name plus exclamation mark, how are you? Okay, so you can create like an alert using the prompt that you got from the user. So it'll be hi name, how are you? So hi Sharasana, how are you? So you can do like multiple stuff with this as well. So it will be something that you will be able to understand as well. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. We have to put the data type before var. No, am I doing that right now? So if I'm not doing it, you don't require it. That's it. Okay, so now what we want to understand is, if I'm going back to my PPT right now, so we need to understand about naming conventions of these variables as well. So the variables that we learned about, okay, so we named a variable as w1, we named a variable as w2, we named a variable as name. Okay, so there are some variable conventions that are associated with naming a variable as well. So for example, let us try to understand these conventions. The first character must be a letter or an underscore. So the first character of the variable name, let's say that this is your variable name. Okay, so I'm having like 4 blanks right over here, so it's a 4-letter word that I'm having. That is our variable name. So the first letter of the variable name should be either an underscore or a small a to z or capital A to Z. Okay, that is the only possibilities that I'm having for the first letter of the variable name. Okay, the rest of the variable name can include any letter, any number, or underscore. Okay, but you cannot include any other characters like spaces, symbols, or punctuation marks. So for example, the rest of the entire thing, okay, let's take up another color. Let's make it a bit thicker. The rest of the entire name of the variable should be containing underscore, capital small a to z, capital A to z, or numbers 0 to 9. Nothing else. You cannot have spaces, you cannot have any special characters, you cannot have any symbols, punctuation marks, nothing like that. Okay, only an underscore, small a to z, capital A to z, and 0 to 9. The first letter, you cannot have a number as well. Okay, the first letter cannot be a number. For the rest of the stuff, you can have a number, but you cannot have any kind of special characters, any punctuation marks, any type of symbols inside anywhere inside your variable name. Okay. With the rest of JavaScript, variable names are case sensitive. That means that if I'm having a variable name as small str or capital STR or capital S small t capital R or capital S small t small r, all these will be described as different variable names. Okay, all these will be considered as different variable names because JavaScript is a case sensitive language. Okay, JavaScript is a case sensitive language, so these will be considered as 4 different variable names. Okay, so you cannot use one of the JavaScript reserved words as a variable name, that is basically keywords. You cannot use keywords as variable names. You cannot have alert as your variable name. You cannot have prompt as your variable name. You cannot have var as a variable name because these are all reserved keywords in JavaScript. Okay, now you will be like, sir, we don't know all the reserved keywords. When you are going on writing your code, you will be able to see that some of these keywords are usually highlighted for you. So example, var, type of, these are highlighted for you most of the time. Sometimes it might not be highlighted. In that particular case, as you are practicing with JavaScript, you will start to remember all these things as well. Okay, the more that you practice, the more number of keywords that you will be getting familiarizing yourself with. So slowly and steadily, you will be like avoiding these keywords totally. Okay, are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know. Are you guys able to understand this? Please do let me know, guys. Is this too much for you, or like you guys are able to understand everything and you are not facing any kind of issues as well? I hope that this is not too much for you. Okay, great. So, no issues in that. Right now, what we are going to do is we are going to stop right over here. Okay, we won't be pursuing any further because I don't want you guys to be burdened up or something like that. And I'm also way too tired after taking like 2 to 3 boot camps in a day. At my office in the morning, my boss is like, "You dude, like, why are you leaving at 4?" I'm like, um, I have some work at home. So I'm a bit tired today, so we'll continue from tomorrow itself. From tomorrow, we are going to start with functions. Okay, so please be ready for the same. Okay, functions is a very important topic to understand. Okay, this undefined. Why are we getting this undefined right over here? We don't want this undefined. Okay, so why are we getting this? What is like? Just all that you will be able to understand once you have understood the functions itself. Okay, so don't worry about it. It will be very easy, very breezy. You don't have to like just take a type of tension or something like that. Okay, so let me just open up the attendance for today. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, most of the programming languages are very similar naming conventions for your variables itself. Okay, Python also has the same naming convention. C++ also has the same naming conventions. JavaScript also has the same naming conventions. Java also has the same naming conventions. So, but yeah, some of the other like languages have different type of naming conventions as well. But yeah, it is good to just like go through everything once. Let me see. Where is the attendance form for today? Those who have missed some part of today's class, just like go back and see it again. Okay, you guys should be able to revise it, and of course, like please be on time from tomorrow onwards. The time is also not very odd or something like that. It's after your colleges itself, so you shouldn't be facing any kind of problems right over there. Okay. I think so. This is day 2 AUG August. Let's open this up. This will be the QR code for today's attendance, guys. Please do fill it up before 12 midnight itself, guys. Okay, for getting your attendance. So please try to do that. And we'll be continuing from tomorrow itself. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. And we'll meet tomorrow. Please be on time. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.